Hi, I'm Emily from Minor DIY, and I'm going to show you how to make an explosion of gnomes for your home. All the gnome ornaments you see here fit inside this explosion box. There's 5 layers of explosion, along with one final box where you can tuck in a cute little Christmas gift. I'll show you how to make it now. Let's get started.
The first step is to upload the gnome ornament SVG and then cut it out. After you've downloaded the gnome explosion box file, you need to unzip it. Double-click the zip file. Inside the folder that opens, you'll find all the files you need. On your computer, open up Cricut's Design Space, start a new project, and then click on the Upload Images button. Navigate to the folder where you saved the Gnome Holiday Ornaments SVG file. Click on the green Save button. Now, click on the image you just uploaded, then click on the green Insert Images button. You can see we have 3 different sizes of gnome, which fit into the gnome explosion box perfectly. So each ornament consists of a few basic pieces. Here you can see we have the main body piece. Here we have the beard. Next we have the nose, which goes right in the middle there. And finally, the black piece is a slightly larger piece that outlines the whole ornament. You can also choose to use a background piece. When you import the SVG into Design Space, the beard gnome's line type is set to draw. I usually use a gray marker to draw the accents on the beard. If you want, you could change the line type to foil, so you could use the new Cricut Foil tool. There's nothing you need to change or attach or group in the SVG file, so when you're ready, go ahead and just click on the green Make It button to cut out your pieces. Now that we have all the pieces cut out, we glue all of them together to make the ornament. So this is a great project to use small square scraps on. You can see I have 12 different colors for each of the body bases here. Of course, I had to experiment and see what the foiled beards look like. Cute and shiny. But it is a lot quicker to just use the gray marker for all of the beards. I always use art glitter glue, and no, it doesn't have glitter, but it's a nice tacky glue with a fine tip. So first glue on the beards, then go ahead and glue on the nose, then glue on the ornament frame, starting with the top hanger, and finally glue the round background on. The last step of the gnome ornament is to add a hanger. Simply cut a piece of string or ribbon or yarn, loop it through, tie it in a knot, and it's ready to go. Next, we're going to cut out the 6 boxes, their lids, and the snowflake accents. Now we'll upload the explosion box file to Design Space. Go ahead and open it, upload it, insert it, just as we've done before. Now when this file pulls in, you can see that the lids and the box sides are already scored for you. So there's no more changing lines to score and then having to attach them to the right piece. It's already done in Design Space. The light blue are the boxes, which you should make out of a light, thinner paper. And the darker blue are the lids, which work better with a heavier cardstock. You can also see the snowflakes. There are 5 boxes where the sides will fall down, and 1 small box in the middle where you can tuck a really small little gift inside if you like. That little dark blue box is the center box, and its snowflakes are a light blue and slightly bigger, so you can cut them out of different material if you want. I always use white vinyl for my snowflakes, but you could also try heat transfer vinyl if you wanted to have a cool glitter effect. I don't use cardstock they're just too fine and it would tear too easily. So save yourself the headache and just use vinyl or even HTV. Everything looks good so far. I often rearrange the lids so there's a little more space and then make them all different colors. Of course, you want to think about what colors you want your box to be, your lids, and also coordinate the sides and pockets too. A couple tips to get a really good cut with your cardstock is to use the cardstock for intricate cuts, material setting, and to make sure that you have a nice sticky blue mat with no debris on it. You want it sticky, but however not too sticky. Otherwise, you might rip the cardstock when you're pulling it away. For step 4, we're going to score the boxes and lids and then glue the lids together. For each of the layers of the box, you want to fold on the creases very well. You want to fold it back and forth, and also use a tool such as a bowl folder or a butter knife or a popsicle stick, a credit card, anything that you can crease the paper sharply with. You're doing it back and forth again so that you can actually weaken the fibers of the paper. With the weak fibers are what enables the explosion box sides to fall down nicely instead of just staying straight open. That's another reason to use a thinner paper, even like a copy paper works well, because that type of paper is much more likely to fall down easily. So you just want to go back and forth. This process is a little bit tedious. For the corners of the explosion box, you want to just fold it back and forth. And I found it's not so easy to use the bone folder on it, but you can certainly try if you want. So those corners, again, you do the same thing. Make the paper weaker by folding them back and forth, and rubbing your fingernails or a credit card or something along the edge. It looks good. You can see we have nice score lines that are nice and floppy, which is exactly how we want it. Now repeat the process, scoring all the lines well on the next 4 layers of the box. To make the lids, take each piece and fold along the score lines. You want them just to fold down into place so you don't have to crease it back and forth. Fold each little tab in and then put a drop of glue on each tab. Again, I'm using the Art Glitter Glue, or you could also use Eileen's Tacky Glue. Both of them are really good, quick drying and sticky glues. Now glue each tab in place on the side of the lid. Try to get the corners nice and square. I like to use a clothespin just to hold it in place. I don't quite have enough fingers to hold everything in place at the same time. Wait a few seconds, remove the clothespin, and now we have a sturdy lid. Now we're going to assemble the last smallest box that goes right in the center. So do the same thing, you want to fold it. It's very similar to a lid, except much bigger, of course. So you want to score it, but only have to score it in one direction, since it'll only be standing up as a box. For this paper, you want to use a thicker cardstock, just to keep it nice and sturdy. It doesn't have to fall down like the other sides do. For the center box, we're going to glue the sides on, even though we haven't done that yet for all the other layers. I'll show you how to cut those pieces in the next step. So these are the sides of the box, the decoration. For my other box, I used the large snowflakes. You can choose whatever you want. In this case, when you put it on, you can see that I have penguins on them. So I always want to make sure that the penguins are going to be facing up, no matter what side of the box they're on. So that's why I'm turning it. So you can see the centerpiece will actually be the bottom of the box that's glued down to the next size up of the box. So the penguins will be facing up on the sides of the box. After the sides are glued on, I'm going to glue the tabs of the box, just like I did the lid. Put the glue on the tab and then glue it to the inside wall of the box. And then you want to repeat the process for the lid. I'll just remove the clothespins, and you can see that we have a cute, sturdy little center box. In step 5, we'll cut the ornament pockets and the side squares. So go back into Design Space and upload the file. Insert it into your project, and you can see that the lines pull in again as score lines, so they pull in correctly. I've designed the file so that the lightest color is on the largest box and the darkest color is on the smallest box. Each layer on the box has 4 pieces, 1 for each side, and 4 pockets, 1 for each ornament. Now, glue all 4 sides on each box, on each of the 5 layers. If your pattern cardstock has a certain up and down direction, make sure that the down or bottom of the direction is towards the middle of that box. Now we're ready to glue the ornament pockets on the other side of each explosion box. Now you'll score the pockets. Just fold the edges under, make them crisp. You don't have to fold them back and forth because it's just the pocket and it's going to be glued in one position. Lay out all 4 pockets on each piece. I like to have the corners go together so they kind of are in a butterfly shape, and I also use 2 different kinds of cardstock on each layer. That's just my preference. You can do whatever you want. You need to have the largest part of the pocket, or the opening where you slide the ornament in, facing the top though. That just makes it easier to slide the ornaments in and out of the box. When you're happy with their positions, just glue everything into place. Repeat this for all 5 of the layers of the explosion box. The next step is to transfer the vinyl snowflakes. After weeding the snowflakes, just use 1 small piece of transfer tape to stick on the vinyl snowflake and then stick in the round spot right in the middle of the explosion box, as you can see from the video. As far as position goes, just try to center the snowflake on the curve of the edge there. To me, it didn't seem to matter very much if every snowflake was in the exact same position. No matter what, when the box was open, it looked just fine. If you are a bit more of a perfectionist, you can try to arrange it so that one of the edges of the snowflake is always pointing right in the middle of the curve. As always, repeat for all 5 layers. Now, we're going to make small snowflake ornaments to go in the smallest 2 layers. After uploading and inserting your file, there isn't too much to do. You do need to duplicate the outline of the ornament and the background if you want to use them. I've designed it so that the snowflakes would look good just if you want to cut out just the designs and leave them open in the back. That is a faster way to do it. Because the snowflakes are such a small, fine design, you definitely want to use the cardstock for intricate cuts material setting. Now that I've got everything cut out, I'm going to use spray adhesive to attach everything together. The spray adhesive makes it very easy to get all the little edges on the snowflake. You'll also want to put a hanger on these ornaments. In the last step, we'll cut cardboard risers, then assemble the entire explosion box. Are you wondering what these cardboard riser things are? They're the secret weapon to make sure that our explosion box actually explodes. That is, that the sides fall all the way down instead of just kind of sticking halfway up, like I'm sure you've seen some do. Our pockets and ornaments are quite thick, so we need a little bit of extra space just to add something to make those sides fall down, as you can see. So we're going to cut small pieces of cardboard and put them under the main layers. If you have a Cricut Maker and the knife blade, you can use that to cut the cardboard. You can also easily hand cut the cardboard with a utility knife using the included PDF as a guideline. So what size of cardboard should you use? Here's a good trick to know what will work. When you look at the box, you should only see one single layer of corrugations. See how this example here has two? There's a large one, and then on the left, away from my finger, you can see another smaller second wall. That will not work to run through your Cricut Maker. When cutting cardboard with your Maker, make sure you use the purple strong grip mat and tape the material down along all the edges. You also want to make sure that the white wheels are moved all the way to the side off of your material, or they will leave marks. The cardboard boosters are the last thing we're going to have to cut. So go ahead and arrange the shapes on your mat so that it corresponds to whatever shape of cardboard you're using that you've already taped down. The material setting that you want to use is the Mat Board 1.5mm setting. Normally, my cardboard cuts through in about 4 passes, so go ahead and check it after 3 or 4 passes so you don't cut into your mat. After you've got the cardboard pieces cut out, whether it's by your Cricut Maker or by hand, it's time to do the final assembly. Start with the smallest piece of cardboard on the smallest layer. Run a bead of glue around, put the cardboard right in the center, put a little bit more glue on the top of the cardboard, and then go ahead and place the smallest box right on top in the center. If you want to save yourself a little bit of time, now's a good time to pop each one of the ornaments into their pocket before you fold it up and put the lid on. Continue gluing each cardboard riser to each layer, folding up the box, putting the lid on, and pressing down firmly on the next layer. Continue until you just have one box. Your explosion of gnomes for your home is complete and ready to give to someone.
And that's how you make an explosion of gnomes for your home. You can grab the free gnome ornament SVG files at the link below. I hope you enjoy creating as much as I did.